Here's a question for you. What do SAS soldiers do when it's time to stop jumping out of aeroplanes and jump into civilian life? Well, Sunrise correspondent Nick Etchells travelled to Singapore with two of them to find out. Nick, whatever they've got planned, I bet it's not boring. It's entrepreneurial.
You'd be right about that. The SAS life, of course, full of adrenaline, so it must be an issue for a lot of them when they leave. How do you recapture that? How do you keep some of that in your life? Well, the two guys you're about to meet have certainly found a way to do that, and we're all invited. Take a look. It's been a while since these guys walked a jungle path without a care for concealment or noise discipline.
I guess we've been at the sharp end since 1998. Well, I have, and pretty much every theatre you could imagine since then we've been involved in one way or another.
Wayne Jones and Danny Hogan always knew it'd end one day, so years ago they hatched a plan.
I was fortunate enough to do a 2-year exchange with the United States Special Operations Command, where I saw these facilities firsthand. So from that point, you know, myself and Wayne have made a priority to get this thing up and running.
After SAS operations in Afghanistan, East Timor and Iraq, you might wonder if their first civilian operation could be a bit of a come down. That literally couldn't be more wrong. After years of planning, they formed their own company to build Australia's first and only modern indoor skydiving simulator. An 11-metre-high vertical wind tunnel generating winds in excess of 250 kilometres an hour.
The wind rushing past the face in a wind tunnel is exactly the same as when you're falling out of a plane or jumping out of a plane. It's 14,000 feet.
This one in Singapore is the model for the one they're planning for Australia. At the moment, Aussie skydivers pay thousands to fly here and use it. This guy and his mates popped over from Perth. In Australia, our special forces will use it to train too, hopefully with more success than this little tyke.
George Bush Sr. flew in one of these a couple of years back, so there's an indication of the age bracket.
The idea is that, unlike skydiving, it's accessible to just about anyone after a little instruction.
Chin up, hands up, breathe.
A flight suit, helmet and crazy goggles, and you're away.
The only way is up, baby.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay.
It's a big leap for two former soldiers. This month they floated their company on the stock market, looking for investors to raise the $12 million needed to complete the project. But you know their motto, who dares wins. And when this guy tells you something, you believe it.
We expect to have this facility operational by December 2013.
It is very addictive, I've got to tell you. And this facility, they're going to put it in at the Penrith Panthers Leagues Club right across from the main entrance there.
Okay.
I've got to tell you very quickly a little anecdote. I was walking with the camera gear with one of those guys outside that skydiving centre in Singapore, and a truck door swung in the wind and banged on the side of the truck, and he has just turned around like a panther about to jump on a goat. You can take the guy out of the SAS, but not the SAS out of the guy.
Yeah. Look, is there a weight restriction on flying? I'm just thinking the wind would have to be like Hurricane Sandy to get me up there.
No, it depends on your height, because obviously that affects your surface area. But if you're over 6 foot tall, you can be. If you're under 6 foot tall, rather, the limit is 120 kilos. If you're over 6 foot tall, you can be heavier than that. So I think you'll be fine.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Nick.